Hello, everybody. I didn't see you there. All right, time to get serious. No Job Jimmy. I'm gonna get serious here. Okay. First off, my name's not No Job Jimmy. My first name's Simon. For those who didn't know that. So I want to share with all 54 or 55, I think now. What a huge jump. Thank you very much for the subscriptions, by the way. You're giving me morale, you're giving me boost and everything like that. It's kind of cool. It's really neat. It's kind of cool to see what kind of impact I have on anybody. And this is where I kind of want to help people out that might be going through some rough times. All right. So I have the last, I don't know, I'd say like 3 years. Over the last 3 years, I've been kind of sick. Like I'm not sick, like cancer sick or anything like that, or heart attack sick. But I have something called atrial fibrillation, and what that means is the top part of my heart is not communicating with the bottom part of my heart, and it's essentially it's pushing out blood that has no oxygen, and it's gonna either cause a heart attack or a stroke, and that's not something you really want. And how this happened, we have no idea. And by we, I mean I and my parents and this whole team of doctors. But what happened was I was at work, and I remember walking into work because my heart's been doing this for hours. Started at about 5 a.m. And I walked into work, and I felt like crap. Felt so sick. And I remember my boss. She was inside she was in a meeting at the time, and I walked in and I said, "Hey, Jen, am I okay?" And she looked at me and she says, "No, you don't look okay." And so she sat me down and she called an ambulance, because even though I told her 1,000 times I didn't want an ambulance, she called an ambulance. When the ambulance driver got there, he looked at me and he said, "Holy crap, we got to get you to the hospital." I think my heart rate was almost 200. My blood pressure was through the roof, and I was in and out of consciousness back and forth. But one thing that I do solidly remember from that whole entire incident is showing up into the ER. I got wheeled in, and they didn't even sign me up. They took my health card and they threw me in a room, and immediately about 15 or 16 doctors came in, or doctors, nurses, Xray technicians, everybody like that came in, and they were all over me looking. They go, "Oh, okay, you're gonna get an X-ray now, and we're gonna take your blood, and we're gonna do this and that and everything else." And it terrified me. They told me to take off all my metal. So I had a necklace. I have whoops, wrong hand. Metal bracelets. But yeah, they told me to take off all my metal because they were gonna shock me. And that's where they put a defibrillator on your front and one on the back, and they give you the shock. Now, it was 200 joules, and it took them about 4 tries to get me out of AFib, which he said to me was a lot of tries. He says, that's ridiculous. So after all that, it happened about 12 more times. It happened here, it happened all over the place. Quebec was scary. In all this, what my I'm not afraid to say it, my psychologist is telling me, he's saying that this is what post-traumatic stress disorder is. And it's not just people who've seen war, or who've seen people die, or has been hit by a car that could cause PTSD. It's anything that is traumatic to your life that could cause post-traumatic stress disorder. That's why I look the way I do. I look I don't look like myself, and I haven't looked like myself for a couple of years now. And I could say I've ruined a relationship over it. I have gained a lot of weight from it, and it's not a good thing. But to deal with this sort of stuff, I've had 2 ablations. The first ablation went okay. It came back. They did a second ablation within 6 months. And after that ablation, I had what was called pulmonary embolisms go into my lungs. So what that is it's basically blood clots all inside my lungs, and they were ready to be released out into my body, which would cause a heart attack and a stroke. So what I didn't want in the first place to happen, happened. So they put me in the hospital. Well, what they did was, first is they VQ scanned me. So they put inside your veins, they put a color, they could see everything go through you. And I got told to go home. And I'm not even saying about a half an hour later, I got a call that says, "Come back here now." So we showed back up at the hospital, and yeah, the doctor said, you're not going home for a little while here. So they started the treatment of thinning my blood out to, even if I had a little scratch, it would bleed and bleed for hours. And so that even affected my work and my whole, the company that I worked for, it held them down. And I didn't feel particularly good about that, but it's not something that I could have controlled. And my work did not make me feel bad about it, which was good. And to my boss who might be watching this, again, I really appreciate everything that you did for me. You were an amazing boss, and could have not have asked for a better person to work with. On Friday, what I'm going to is I'm going to go for another ablation, and this time I'm scared. I'm really scared because last time it almost didn't end up properly, and I just don't want to end up dead. I think that's I think that's my biggest fear, and kind of what you have to do is you have to kind of look past that, and it's very hard for me to do that, but you have to look past this stuff. And think about what might be, down the road, and not think that something bad can happen right away. Even though it did one time doesn't mean it's going to happen again, right? And for whatever it's worth, guys, if you're going through some rough times or whatever, please seek help. It's not difficult. There's hotlines all over the place that even if you call a crisis line, it's not for people who are just going through depression or anxiety or for suicide. It's not all about that, man. They will talk to you about anything. And what I'm thinking is, yeah, you guys get your help, please, for the love of Jesus. Just do it. But what I want you guys to know is, if anything does happen to me on Friday, I wanted to let you guys know that I love you very much, and the people that are very close to me, I love you very much as well. There's some people that did some shitty things too recently. I'm not gonna say I apologize for that, but I want to let you know that the shit that you did to me, I forgive you. I forgive all of you for what you've done to me. Basically, for my sake, I don't give a shit about you. It's me wanting to make myself feel better. You as a person, if you don't feel that this is sincere, and I'm sorry. There's nothing more I can do forward, but yeah. So this is what's going to be leaning on till Friday. I'm going to try and do another one tonight about something else, and I just want to be able to help you guys out with this sort of stuff. So if for whatever reason, I'm going to blink. If you're from Brantford, or I believe you can call this line anywhere in the United States or Canada, and they will help you. I'm going to link it down in my into my description here. And just again, all the people who have been close to me, people I have apologized to, people who've done me wrong, people I've done wrong, I want to say I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I'm glad that I reconnected with most of you. Just to let you know, we may have had a crappy past, but I'm glad that you're back in my life, and I'm glad that I'm back in yours. And hopefully, we can, after this all shitty things done, we can kind of move forward with everything, and have some more fun in the future. Okay, guys? So I'll end this video here. Again, I apologize. I got all serious and shit. I started crying and fuck. I can't do it. I'm just not a crier. I'm not a pretty crier. Let's put it that way. But again, I love you all very much. You guys have a good day.